Brooklyn Independent Television.
When Hurricane Sandy hit, it sent nearly 6 feet of polluted canal and salt water into the Gowanus Industrial Arts Complex, which houses several businesses. We stopped by 2 of those businesses to see how they are continuing to recover and thrive after the storm.
It Green NYC is a building materials reuse center. We're a nonprofit organization that keeps reusable building materials out of the landfill. So at our locations we have anything from cabinets to doors to windows, whatever you would make a house out of, we have here. And it's all reused materials that otherwise would have probably ended up in the landfill. And we work with contractors and homeowners, architects, and we go out and get the material before it gets thrown out. So we're a bit like a cross between a Goodwill and a Home Depot. You know, our main mission is to keep materials out of the landfill, have a positive environmental impact, and we do that through our reuse center. Last year we kept over 1,000 tons of building materials out of landfills. We do that through our composting program in partnership with DSNY. We take in donations of food waste in Western Queens, and we compost it and we donate that material back into the community.
My name is Paige Tooker and this is the New York Art Foundry. We produce art for artists out of rubber and plastic, but primarily aluminum and bronze. And we pour molten metal here. The complex lends itself towards the industrial art. There's glass shops, there's foundry, there's art studios here.
We also have another program where we donate materials that are donated to us. So we help connect those to other folks that are in need. So we've donated enough boards to make over 2,000 raised beds. We're doing work where we're connecting some families in need to furniture after Sandy. The water came from everywhere, I think. You know, the whole neighborhood was flooded. So any way the water could get in, it came in. It broke through one of our loading dock doors, and most dramatically, it exploded through our walls from our neighbor. The wall was like ripped off. There was so much force. We had to throw out a lot of the materials, which is ironic for us because we spent so much time trying to save materials from the landfill. So we had to actually throw out 8 dumpsters worth of materials that had gotten soaked by the water. We really ended up having to throw out about 60–70% of the materials we had in the store.
I had just moved here 2 years ago and we had only been melting and operating for a year when the hurricane hit. And last year we only got 6 inches of water throughout the shop. This year it was almost 6 foot of water. The SBA is the Small Business Administration and they were working with FEMA. It took 3 months to get funding and we received our funds at midnight last night. There was so much red tape. We had to purchase flood insurance before we could get a loan. And now we are able to buy our big ticket items that are going to put us right back in business manufacturing again. But we have taken a huge loss in old customers. To lose a quarter of a year is just unbelievable. And I'm going to have to get my group of customers to come back.
My name is Jack Chipkowski. I'm the Communications Manager at It Green NYC, and I'm going to show you around our Gowanus Reuse Center post-Hurricane Sandy. Over here is our lighting section, and during the storm the water came about 5 feet high. Down here I can show you another piece that we have that you could still see the water lines on the mirror. So everything that was 5 feet or lower, those all had to be thrown away because we were fearful of what would happen with the cloth-based materials. You can see where the line came up to and the water levels, and then it carries right over. Obviously these weren't here at the time of the storm, and you can see the line along this big piece. I'll take you over to our kitchen cabinet section where you can see where the walls kicked out and the water and insulation came in. So over here we have our kitchen cabinets. You can see where the water came. Insulation's still stuck along the surface of the wall. Over here, the drywall busted out. A lot of the furniture had been pushed and kind of stirred up, and it went into the middle of the store. It just looks like someone came in and just played with our furniture like it was a dollhouse. And a few months later, we have new cabinets that have been donated and are available for sale, and some that have been sold. It's really hopeful that we're recuperating so quickly. Just before the hurricane, we had finished building this wood shop, which I think is super cool because it's made out of all of the materials that we actually have. You can see an old window. And so we've been using our shop while we're repairing from the storm. But you can see this is our little graveyard up here of tools that were damaged in the flood. They had worked with donated stage flooring and built this beautiful space. And then the flood came. You can see the water line again in the space. And in the far corner you can see where it has warped and the floor is a few feet up from the ground. We've rebuilt and moved things around, and this is back where we are.
Now I'm just going to show you around the space on day 100 after the storm. This is our office. This entire area had furniture up to just floating in here up to this line. This is our water line in our office. We put our computers up high on a ladder, and I don't know how the ladder was not bumped by furniture that was floating everywhere. We were able to save our bookkeeping, and therefore we were able to get our loan. This is the larger space where we do production, and we have a skeleton crew here now working. We're still cleaning up. This is a bulldozer that was ruined in the flood. It does not operate. These are raw castings that I had to contract to a small foundry in Pennsylvania so that we can keep operating here on some level. This is our burnout kiln, which seems to have fared the water because look, the water came up to here. I probably have to do some relining. It does operate. The water didn't come in slowly. It was a tidal force, and you could tell that there was probably waves in here, just throwing everything, and all the tables were upside down, and the equipment was turned over. These are some projects from artist Marion Vitale that are in production. These are douchebags, figurative douchebags. These are in the mold process. Over here is one that we cast yesterday in wax from the rubber molds that I just showed you. And so we make wax replicas and then we cast them in bronze. We make wax replicas of the artist's work. I'm going to put the Gowanus Canal 2012 on here with a big cork in it, and I will never forget.
I mean, climate change is real, and hopefully this really emphasizes that fact statewide. We're the center of a lot of businesses. Hopefully those business leaders that were affected, that had their lights turned out, are starting to take climate change seriously as something that could really, threaten our whole way of life.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at brickartsmedia.org/BIT.